name is Kelly Spolsky. We're here on set with Frank Pullia. And welcome to our new studio. Really excited to have you here. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking a little bit about the budget, which you know a heck of a lot more than I do. So have the floor, Frank.
Well, council just completed, by the way, thank you for, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you for the invitation. It's always good to be able to communicate and inform the public about what's happening at City Hall. And as you know, the budget is a big topic. We have had some challenges. That's sort of, the perfect storm that's coming together. And council had to really push the limits of the deliberation in terms of trying to find the ways to cut back and find savings, efficiencies internally. We had to postpone some of the capital work. There has been a major investment in infrastructure over the last 5 years, almost double the investment into roads and sewer and stuff that you don't see on the ground. So that's a very positive part that people don't see. Therefore, it looks like the roads are falling apart in some areas that will be done this year, next year, are reaching the end of their lives. Other areas, you have seen Valley Street and parts of Junot, the Gulf Links Road that has just been redone. There will be a continuous investment into roads. We're now up to $12 million a year.
Wow.
And so if you really look at it that way, in 5 years, we'll be investing $60 million into roads.
Oh, wow.
So all the roads like Memorial Avenue and Fort William Road, those that are starting to really notice, they're starting to come at the end of their lives, they will be done.
They're not too friendly to small cars, those roads.
No,
some
not
days,
right now. I mean, we also are seeing a change in the weather patterns where a few years ago it would get cold in October, November, wouldn't thaw out until February, March. Now that can happen 2-3 times a year and is creating havoc with our roads.
I did notice the frost heaves in the ground, and a lot of people, maybe they don't realize, but the ground going from hot to cold, it really plays havoc, and Mother Nature always reclaims everything, so we have to work with what we have.
Exactly, and those are extra challenges maybe in the past were not there because it was cold and then it would, spring it would come. Now it comes and goes, climate change. So we have to adapt, and I think the city is doing a good job of adapting to those circumstances, including their substantial investment in infrastructure.
I like the fact that a lot of groups are able to bring forth concerns and that the city council does give them the chance to speak and listen to their concerns. And I know you're not going to be there tonight, you have other work to do, but tonight city council, there's a few other groups that are presenting as well. But back to the budget, Frank, can you tell me a little bit more, a little in depth, just so our viewers know exactly what you're saying? Just give us a little.
Well, we started the budget with a 6.3% increase. We're able to bring that down. The first meetings, we had to deal with decision packages. It looked like it was easy, but there was a lot of work behind the scenes from administration to bring together those kind of packages that we voted in as a block. And, this is the easy things to do, and then it gets more difficult because then you go into cutting some services. And I personally don't like to go there unless we absolutely have to. We need to look at increasing our revenues and finding efficiencies internally before we go and cut in services.
So, and you are on the budget committee, I am.
I'm the chair of the budget committee.
And you also have a financial business, so you working with numbers is fantastic. So
it helps.
It's experience.
But at the end of the day is, 7 councilors deciding on any given resolution, you need majority vote. And I think, especially the last night of council last week, you could see there was a lot of debate. We don't always agree on everything, and that's healthy because council is not a homogeneous group. We don't vote in block. It's just every resolution will have its day on the council chamber and a full debate, which I think is healthy. And I think more important than that is our ability to convey to the public and our community in ways of the way we communicate. So this is a great, and I appreciate being able to talk to and reach different groups in the community, be able to explain and inform them of what we're doing at City Hall. Because at the end of the day, there's a new council every 4 years. We're all trying to do the best for our community. Not everybody agrees, and that's okay. Because I think at the end of the day, what's more important than anything else is to provide a clear direction of where council is going. People need to know that we're moving towards tax increases of at or below the level of inflation.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing out there,
Mhm.
that we need to stabilize the tax increases, because on top of the taxes, we're also seeing some substantial increases in water and
Mhm.
wastewater for a host of reasons. You know, we have to remember that Thunder Bay lost 40% of its industrial tax base
Yes.
over the last 10 years.
Mhm.
That decreased the water revenues substantially.
Yes.
Also, we tripled the budget on roads. But every time we go and fix a road, we also fix the underground. So now you also tripled the investment in infrastructure, the pipes, the sewer, the
Yes.
water mains.
Well, they have to be done, and a lot of people don't realize that. They only skim off the top and see that part. But that's why Frank's here, so you can get informed and know what he's talking about. So basically, when we tear a road up, we're going to fix the sewage and the water and everything, which is aging.
So we
in our
don't have to go
community.
back in a year
Yes.
and rip the asphalt up because
That
something
wouldn't make
broke.
sense.
Exactly.
It
So
wouldn't make sense.
there is now a full integration of fixing the infrastructure underground and above ground.
Mhm.
So that's increasing the cost of investment in infrastructure.
And also the time that it takes to fix a road, because I
Takes
know
a
there
little
has been
longer,
a little bit of complaining about why is it taking so long? Well, here you go. Frank is answering that question for you.
Yeah.
So that's one question answered. And the water increase, I know a lot of people are struggling with that. And can you explain it to our viewers, what's
Yeah.
happening with that?
I was just touching on that.
Mhm.
So we had a major hit on the revenue side
Yes.
because the industrial tax base that was using a lot of water,
Mhm.
we lost 50% of it. So your revenue drops. Your expenses have gone up through increasing investment.
Mhm.
We're fixing a lot of the pipes on the ground a lot faster. Also, legislative requirements. After
Oh, okay.
Walkerton, the provincial government has mandated a huge number of requirements.
Now, just to interrupt you, Walkerton, can you remind us what happened with Walkerton? I remember, but some of our viewers may not.
Yeah, the standards of safety and quality were not, there wasn't proper oversight.
Yes.
Therefore, people died because the water got contaminated
Mhm.
from discharge from a farm,
Yeah.
not too far away from where the wells for the town
Mhm.
were getting the town was getting the source from some wells that get contaminated. So now, the requirements for water control are stringent.
As it
Some of
should
the
be.
most stringent in the world.
Unfortunately, it took tragedy, but that's the way
Exactly.
of the world.
So
isn't it?
our water gets tested 3-4 times a day,
Oh, wow.
continuously.
Oh,
You know, when people go for the bottled water and they think it's, it's okay, well, maybe okay, but you don't never know.
yeah, but where's it bottled?
The water
You know?
that comes from Thunder Bay is tested every hour almost.
Oh, wow, that's
So
amazing.
and we have some of the best quality water anywhere
That's
because
amazing.
there has been a major investment. The other reason why the water rates are also going up, because the hydro has gone up, and when
Mhm.
we moved to Bear Point, and now you gotta push the water all the way to Nebing, that those pumping stations are costing us a lot of money in terms of electrical costs.
Has the city ever considered solar or anything up there? Or, I don't know how that works, but just a
No, the
question.
solar would not have
It
enough,
wouldn't
enough
push
power
enough
to push
power,
it, no,
okay.
you gotta rely on the,
I won't ask
Oh.
about windmills. Another day. But, well, that's amazing. Like, people don't realize a lot of these things that you're saying, and it's great that you're touching on them, and it's wonderful, actually.
and we also now, after the flood, has been major investments also in other areas that are
Yes.
flood prone.
Mhm.
And I think the city wants to move fairly quickly in fixing those
Mhm.
areas of the city that need some fixing because we cannot afford another flood.
Well, that flood was an unprecedented flood. It came down so quick, it destroyed so many things. I don't think there was anything our city could have done at that point.
Well, it's happening more often,
Mhm.
exactly. We need to start moving towards climate adaptation and the
Mhm.
storm water, and we're reviewing the whole system in its entirety. So we're looking at ways where we need to and prioritize those because it takes money. Which one you need to fix because, with your flood-prone area like Northwood and other area of the city. So we're moving fairly quickly in that direction. That requires another major investment, and that's why the water rates have gone up the way they have. I mean, it's an investment in
Mhm.
protecting your health and welfare of our community.
Which is
I know it's a little bit a little bit of an increase recently that on top of tax increases is difficult on some people, and that's why council has adjusted the low income threshold for those who can then get a reduction in their taxes
Okay.
and the water rates.
And how do they do that exactly?
You need to apply and demonstrate that your income is below a certain level.
Okay.
You go to the city or through Lakehead Social Planning. I think there are some organizations.
You could
that-
also call 211.ca and
Exactly,
direct you.
yes.
Mhm.
So, and you need to prove that you're below that income
Mhm.
and you qualify. Once you qualify, then your water rates and your property taxes will be reduced by up to $200 each.
Oh, well, that's
So that's to help
fantastic.
those people who need help and the low end of the scale in terms of low income.
So if you need to have that kind of help, like Frank was saying, you can go to 211.ca and they will direct you. That's the Lakehead Social Planning Board. Also, you can just call the city as well. So there's a
Yes,
few
the
avenues
city
to
can
find
direct
us
you in the
out.
right direction on how to fill the forms, and so we are providing help for those that need it.
That's perfect. And I know you have stuff to do today, Frank, so is there anything else you would like to add today?
No, I think we covered the major points about the budget, and now the city is moving, council is moving quickly towards a strategic plan,
Sounds good.
start planning for the future.
Well, that's the way it
And
should be.
it's gonna be a continuous effort. We can't wait until a year from now and then try to bring those tax rates. We need to look lower, and we need to look at continuously improve
Absolutely.
the way we run the business of the city
And
and
if
find efficiencies before we go and increase taxes or reduce services.
input from everybody as well.
Exactly.
And
We
that's why
appreciate, the input we get from the community.
yes.
I get a lot of emails, people email, a phone, and so we appreciate that feedback because we need to know and stay in touch with the community that we serve.
Absolutely. And if you need to get a hold of Frank, we'll provide his email address within this interview for you, and they can send you an email or have a conversation with you.
Anytime.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Frank Pullia, Kelly Spolsky, Thunder Bay Live.
Thanks.